Hey traders, what's up? Jamie Setley here. It is September 1, 2020. And oftentimes or I shouldn't say oftentimes, but sometimes with new months comes changes in behavior in a specific market. All right. And that may have happened today with the dollar, particularly against the euro and maybe against the Canadian dollar as well. But if we're looking at DXY, then we're probably focused on euro a lot there because obviously euro is going to be about 57 or so percent of DXY. All right, so without further ado, let's look at this DXY chart. This is a weekly chart. We've got our beautiful chart channel here from the 2011 low. Just clearly, this is a massive, massive, massive level, right? We came into the week on Sunday. I wrote that we were looking at potentially 91.50 to 92 as an important spot to pay attention to. We have so far tagged 91.75, so right in the middle of that zone. If we zoom into this chart on a daily basis, you'll see that today left us a nice little reversal candle, right? If I want to take a look at, say, a shorter term chart, and we will, hold on for a second. Let's look at a 4-hour or an hourly chart. Here's a 4-hour chart, and you can see that we've got a wedge right here from the low on July 31st, and my fingers are hitting all kinds of buttons that I don't want to hit. Okay, there's that trend line, right? Longer term trend line here, but on a shorter term chart. And we've got what we could consider a wedge basically for the last month. So, you know, 8-3 high here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wedge ending diagonal in Elliott. You've got a high volume level at 93.04. That is from Powell's Jackson Hole speech last Thursday. And that happens to be very close to where the wedge line is as well. So if we were to break up through that, I would consider, this a broader reversal to the upside, right? Also, and this is awesome, if we look at some of you may be familiar with my volume reversal logic. Follow it on futures charts and ETFs and even individual stocks and commodities and all kinds of stuff. But what we have here is a volume reversal today. All right. You can see that we've had two since July 31st. So essentially back, 1 month apart each. Bullish ones occurred, similar clusters occurred about a month apart in early 2018 at the low. We also had some back here in the summer of 2018, which was into a low before, you had a decent bounce here. And we had single ones back here in it was May 2016 and of course May 2014. So not a whole, you're looking at 6 years here of price, and you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of instances, right? 7 total, but like 3 of them are clustering together. I guess that'd be 8 if we include today's. So that is interesting. So add all that together, and you've got, I think, maybe an idea on a break higher above 93 in DXY to be a bull and go the other way against what's been pretty extreme sentiment for quite some time now. Okay, let's look at euro then as well. So euro has, again, I've got to change this up. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So euro tagged a median line that we've been tracking. So you take the 2015 low and 2018 high and 2020 low, and we tagged that center line, okay, today. You can see right there. Oftentimes the initial tag of a center line on or a big, I should say big median line. So this isn't a channel, this is actually a fork, but oftentimes that will give way to a bigger reaction in the opposite direction, right? In this case, that would be lower. You can also see that the parallel 25 line within this fork happens to cross some important price levels, including kind of the launch higher that occurred, excuse me, in July, okay, mid-July. So we've got that. If we wanted to look at simply the shorter term chart, much like we did with DXY, you can see right here, right? This is a channel from the mid-May, May 14th low, tagged the top one here. That was again July 31st. It's kind of been since, we've been topping or trying to top since then, in my opinion. But tagged that, and lo and behold, your lower parallel from that channel actually intersects the diagonal line, right? It's just basically the opposite of DXY. At 1754. You call it the wedge line, diagonal, whatever you want to call it. Okay, those are, to me, the same thing. So call 1750 your kind of breakdown level. If you want to go really crazy short term here, we could look at, I would add in that you could make the case that you've got a 5 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the high today, if you're going to get really, really nitty gritty on it. And I would be looking for resistance probably around that 1960 area. If we did get kind of a bounce on Wednesday, right, that would be here. You can kind of see there, right? 1960, 1965, whatever. So it's been a level essentially all week. This was yesterday, Monday, and then this was Tuesday, and this was also today, Tuesday. So pay attention to that level. 1750, though, is the bigger spot to pay attention to. And of course, we are going to want to look at the volume charts because we did have, again, those volume reversals today. Much like DXY, right? We had the reversal today and one on 731. This is, again, volume reversal. It requires a certain amount of volume above a certain average, along with a threshold for a high. And there's some range components in there, but it's pretty interesting, and you can see that you've gotten some pretty big turns off of this as well over the last number of years. This was early 2018, similar, where you had 2 1 month apart, and then of course 2014, the high from May 2014, where we did have, again, a very, very significant high. I remember that day. It was an ECB day, and Draghi had basically killed the euro at that point. That's when he started to kill it, I should say. Anyway, yeah, not a whole lot of signals there over the last 6 years, so might be worth paying attention to. All right, so that's it. Wanted to focus again on, I did mention the Canadian dollar actually, so maybe I'll bring that in real quick too. This is CAD futures. You can see that we also had a bearish reversal here, right? That bearish reversal also occurred very near VWAP from the 2017 high. Again, just 3 of these over the last 3 or so years. So, at least from the bearish side, you can see the bullish side's actually been pretty good too. But yeah, reversal evidence with euro, dollar index, Canadian dollar, and at really big levels. If we just were to look at real quickly dollar CAD, go to a weekly chart here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw off a trend line into there, and you're going to say, why are you cheating and drawing it off of this high right here, which is from September 2019? Well, this is the line that I feel like fits the market much better, or this market, this chart. You can see that this crosses through a lot more price action, including these lows over here from February when we just took off to the upside. If you had it drawn over here, right, wouldn't really be the case, right? It hits here, here, but then nothing else. So you draw it off that September high, you get all this action throughout the end of 2019, and you get the retest here, and now here we are again retesting that line, and we did again turn up a bit today. We didn't quite take out these lows from December, the December low of 2019, but we did trade more or less into the yearly opening price. Today's low, what was that, like 29.95 or something? The yearly opening price is 1880. Or sorry, 1880, 2987. We traded 1995, so close enough. Okay, and those off of the year open, those pullbacks into the year open. I will bring in a different chart just to kind of show you what that looks like, where I have the year opens plotted on all of my various markets that I'm following, and we'll bring that in real quick, and then I'll go. And you can see, here you go, year opening price trades. Okay, so you had one in 2018, right? Here, reverse off it higher. You know, breaks of the year open, 2017, 16, what have you. A lot of consolidation around these levels. You can see too that, you come into it and you'll either rebound off it, or you'll consolidate around it before the market makes up its mind. You also had one in 2014, right? Pull back into the year open, and we just went ballistic on the upside. So those are some good examples of year open trades. Kiwi, by the way, has been trading around the year open of 67.24, just to give you another thing to look at. But yeah, that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it helps. September 1 could have been a pretty big day in FX in terms of a pivot in FX, notably Euro and DXY, but quite possibly dollar CAD as well, right? Okay, so thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye.